Welcome to Fear Babes Podcast, a podcast made for Fear Fam members by Fear Fam members.
We would like to remind you that Fear Babes Podcast is not affiliated with the Project Fear crew in any way.
Everything we discuss on this podcast is strictly our own opinions.
My name is Madeline.
My name is Burgundy.
My name is Jamie.
And we are the Fear Babes.
Hello. Welcome back to the chaos that is the Fear Babes Podcast.
Yeah.
What was that sound?
I felt like I had to touch the microphone for some reason, and I'm losing my ability to talk.
It was
Dramatic effect. Boom, boom, boom.
dramatic effect.
Just drama, bitch. It's me.
Sick. Well, my voice is on the struggle bus today, so bear with me, guys. But, yeah. What did we do last week, Mads?
Well, funny you ask. Because, what did we do? I'm just kidding. We watched the first part of, the episode at the Oddfellows Orphanage in Pennsylvania. It was really creepy, but this week's episode was even more creepy, if you want me to be honest.
This week's episode is also Oddfellows Orphanage, and also creepy. That's where I thought you were going with that. I was like, yes.
This week's episode brought to you by the letter C for creepy.
C for cranberries.
For cranberries.
Oh my god. 'Tis the season to be jolly.
La, 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 la.
I saw the funniest meme on Facebook where it was a dog. It was obviously a boy dog, and he was laying in front of the fire with his legs spread out, and it said chestnuts roasting by an open fire.
Oh my gosh. Wait, let me send you guys the one that I found because I can't explain it on the pod, but you'll love it. Hold on. Maybe I'll post it on one of our socials after this is released so everybody else can know too. But it's inappropriate.
Oof.
Ish.
Let's do it.
We are inappropriate.
I know. Did you get it? Did it go?
Yeah.
It's funny.
No.
That's funny. That's great.
It is funny, right? Okay.
I love it.
Thank you. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
That's awesome.
That's all I needed to have a good day. So
I'm gonna send that to my mom.
You freaking would.
I'm gonna tell her that it's her birthday gift.
I got you.
It's Mom's birthday?
Yes.
Happy birthday, Mom!
Happy birthday, Mom!
Mommy's birthday.
Mom, this is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Yay!
You're so good. Happy
Well,
birthday,
yeah.
Mom. We love you.
She is not here in town. She is in the Outer Banks, which really sucks because I wanted to hang out with her on her birthday, but that's okay. She's with her friends, and next weekend we're going to the Biltmore, so I'm excited.
Woohoo!
That's gonna be so cool.
Worth it. So worth it. To just wait.
Worth it. Patience is a virtue, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Mm.
I say that to 10-year-olds all day, every day. I'm a fucking psychopath. It's hilarious.
Like, what's virtue? What does that mean?
You're like, Patience, never heard of her.
You're sick? You went to the hospital? No.
You're sick? You went to the hospital?
Wrong Patience, bitch.
So it's kind of funny because me and Bergie last night we watched the Project Fear live in the Fear Club together while we were trying to get this Google Doc together, and I wish Jamie could have been on, but it was so fucking funny.
We are funnier than they are, just so you know.
Surprise, surprise. I already knew that. Oh my god.
Alex doesn't think so, but
yeah, Alex doesn't think that we're funny. And so I had to set up a duel with him, but it didn't see the light of day because I was sleeping.
What a dweeb.
Loser.
Yeah, one of you is going to have to eat a sock.
It's going to be Al.
Yeah.
The people don't care if I eat a sock. They want
Yeah.
him to eat a sock.
Exactly.
The people want what they want. And it's Alex suffering.
What a weenie.
Does that mean he's the weenie of the week, Mads?
Yes. Al is the weenie of the week.
You're the weenie of the week. Ha ha to you.
Genuine question. I think I already know the answer for Jamie. Are y'all like drunk eaters, or do you just not care to eat when you're drunk? And we're only talking about being drunk, nothing else.
Well, do you remember Atlanta when we drank from like 1 p.m. to like 5 a.m.? Not consistently. Okay. For any listeners that are like, what the fuck?
They're alcoholics!
But like we hardly ate that much.
But see, okay,
I
so
wasn't
for me
never
personally,
hungry though.
I also want to preface this too, is that if you ever meet me at a convention and I'm drunk, I do not ever go out and drink or do anything like that on a weekly or even monthly basis.
Me either, dude. It's only when I'm with you guys.
Literally only when I'm with you guys. Or if there's like a bachelorette party or something like that. I'm not doing it all the time. But I will say, to answer my own question, I do not want to eat when I'm drunk. I don't. No.
So here's the deal.
No.
The first time I really got drunk, I don't know if I necessarily was like full on drunk, because I don't like that. I don't like to do it. But it was in Philly, and y'all saw me with those s'mores. I was having the time of my life. Everybody's like, why are you still eating? I was like, because I can. S'mores.
You literally, you are a drunk eater.
Yeah.
I am an eater in general.
Fair.
You catch me. One of the kids at school was like, all right, banana girl. Because I was in the back of the room in the morning. And it was just me, him, and his aide. Because he was avoiding class. And I had just gotten in to unpack and meet the class elsewhere. So I decided, all right, like, I got a couple minutes free time. I'm going to eat my banana. So I start to eat my banana and I start dancing because I'm happy. I'm happy when I eat. So now my nickname at school is Banana Girl because I am an eater at all times.
You know, that's valid, you know?
It's very good.
Yeah, that was just a random ass fucking question for a podcast that
We did it.
It's literally 11 a.m. and we're talking about being drunk.
It's 9 a.m. for me, which
You know, no regrets.
but yeah,
No
I mean that's
regrets.
pretty on par for us. Like we're just random a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the 23rd episode. What do you expect at this point?
23. Let me tell y'all something funny real quick. So last weekend, my mom was listening to the rough edit of the podcast while I was editing. And she was listening to me talk and she was like, what the fuck? And I was like, what? And she was like, where's your accent?
It went away, Mom.
It literally, like, I just want to, like, reiterate that I am the biggest fucking accent morpher. I want to know the scientific reasoning behind it. Like, I don't get it. Because when I'm at home, I'm like, yeehaw, cornbread. Let's go ride some horses and gather some cattle.
I just picture you walking in your house after work and you're like, yeehaw, cornbread.
She gets home from work, literally. Yeah.
I swear to
I
God. Like, I think
Yeehaw, cornbread.
my accent comes out the most when I'm with Sierra, but Sierra has a really strong accent.
Cornbread and whiskey.
Yeah.
Cornbread and whiskey, honey.
Oh my gosh. I just like picture you getting home and saying that just because you were like, when I'm home, I'm like, yeehaw, cornbread.
It's true. Even my brother said something about it yesterday because I played him a clip from one of our episodes and he was like, because he doesn't have, like, my youngest brother, he does not have an accent. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, Samuel kind of has one. My mom definitely has one. But I don't understand why he doesn't have an accent. But anyway, long story short, we're just going off on a tangent about accents. He listened to it and he's like, where's the accent? I was like, what the fuck? Everybody's flaming me for the accent thing now. Just
That's
weird.
funny. I love it.
It is funny. I love having a little country accent.
You're so cute.
You're a Southern Belle.
Thanks.
You're a Southern Belle, Madeline.
Sweet little Southern Belle.
True. And yet, Shrek still didn't appreciate me.
Well, Shrek's a fucking weenie, okay?
Shrek's a fucking ogre. Have you seen
Are we gonna?
him?
Okay, are we gonna just call that one situation? He's now Shrek.
Sure.
Nice.
No, I don't know. I don't
No.
think you should, actually. Because, like, what if you come upon another Shrek thirst trap and then it's ruined for you to have feelings for Shrek again because we started calling the other situation Shrek? And that's just blurring your lines, man.
Yeah, that's true. He can be Donkey
Okay.
because he's an ass.
What if... Well, maybe he can be something not related to Shrek at all, too.
He
Okay,
could be Bowser.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Bowser. That's
The
sick.
irony because of the fact that Bowser's the one who sang Peaches.
Peaches. That's
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect.
You think I just pulled that out my
Perfect.
ass? I had a reason to make that joke, bitch.
Perfect.
Jay's got big brain
Oh my
energy over
God.
here.
Big brain
It
energy.
doesn't happen often, but I'm
Big brain.
Thank
really
God.
excited about it.
You know,
Oh
I
my
never.
God.
I
God.
okay. You know what?
Big things if I had a brain, Madeline.
I do not have a brain either, so it's fine.
What is this? This isn't the Wizard of Oz, you guys.
If I only had a brain.
If I only had a brain.
Never
I know what I'm
heard of
doing
a
after.
brain.
Yeah.
Yo. Theaters near you.
Fuck
Okay. All right. Well, with that, let's welcome our guest, shall we?
What up, y'all? So, before we get into the Kalani portion of the podcast, I just wanted to let you guys know that the first part of our interview was a little bit glitchy, but hang tight because about 10 to 15 minutes in, the audio gets so much better. So, yeah, that's all I came here to say. So, okay, thanks. Bye.
All right, babes. Let's give a warm welcome to our special guest today, Kalani Ghost Hunter. Welcome, Kalani.
What's going on? How are you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
How about you?
You're here. We're fantastic.
Exactly.
Oh, I that sounds like a very Project Fear voice there. I had to listen to that a lot of the
Yeah.
baby talk.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
But I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Great.
A lot of baby talk. You know, I've never heard anybody call it that, but that's
It adds up.
funny as hell.
Yeah.
A Tana. It's so bad. Like they do it so much that I started
do?
doing it when I was with them, and I was like,
Yeah.
this needs to stop. I don't need to do this anymore. I sound like I'm a toddler.
It rubs off on you.
Yeah.
It
That's
does.
why
I
I
start
do
talking
it.
like a baby.
Yeah. You don't even realize.
It's worse too. You leave and like two weeks later, you're saying words like the same way, and you're like, "What is wrong with me?"
People at home think I'm weird.
This is true. This is true. I mean, you've got the folks down south where I live that think everything's a demon, honey. You're talking to them demons, you know. All you're doing is talking to demons. And I'm like, yes, that's me, the Satanist down the street. Which I know I'm not a Satanist, but that's what my neighbors make me out to be. Nothing wrong with being a Satanist, I guess. I mean, if that's what floats your boat, but that ain't my boat.
Yeah.
Finally,
that.
someone who gets the southern shit that I deal with.
Oh yeah. Shoot, I have there's 4 locations in the entire state of Tennessee that let you come in. Everybody else is like, my preacher said you're going to hell. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll see you there.
Oh my
It's
god.
so
that is
true.
funny.
That's wild.
Like anytime I say anything to anyone about, oh yeah, like I'm into like paranormal stuff, they're like, what? You do what?
So how
And I'm
many
like-
lambs did you slaughter in your backyard, honey?
It's like, calm down, you little old
I'm
person.
like, look, dude, I've stopped drinking blood for at least 6 months now. Chill out.
I'm no longer a vampire. You can calm down.
Oh,
I've put those ways behind me.
That's
I don't
right.
need them anymore.
Absolutely fucking incredible. I love that for you. And I love that even more for the people around you.
Oh yeah, I don't give two fucks about what anybody thinks about me. That the moment you stop caring about what the world thinks about you is when you can truly figure out who you are and what you want to be and how you want to do it. And that's like the most liberating moment I think I've had in my entire life.
I
Honestly.
love that.
Takes a long time to figure that shit out, so
Yeah, and I mean, like with what I do and what, obviously Project Fear on a different scale, but what all of us do, it's like whenever you get thrown in the public eye like that, it's like the quicker you can learn that, the quicker you can excel.
yeah, honestly. I think that
'Cause
goes
as
for
much
anything
as-
in life.
Yeah, as much as you'd like to think that everyone likes you, they don't.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
true.
You're gonna live your whole life.
Be you, and somebody's gonna get upset about it. So
Absolutely. So you might as well just throw them a bird and call it a day.
exactly.
Throw 'em a
Throw 'em a
bird.
bird.
I love it. So I'm curious as to where you were investigating last night and who you pissed off because you are glitching like crazy.
Am I glitching?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's very staticky. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I love that it's not me for once. Usually weird shit happens on my end.
true.
The second you said the D word, it all went to shit.
True.
Okay, is it better now?
Yes.
All right. I don't know what that is, but sure.
Do not say the D word. That's what triggered it.
Okay, we won't say it for the next 5 minutes at least.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay, so last night I was investigating a courthouse in Tennessee. I was the first person to film for YouTube in there. But they did public executions like right outside of the place.
Shit.
And there's supposed to be something upstairs that grabs people. But I sent my wife up there alone because apparently it likes women.
Oh.
No.
And no one has ever been up there alone, so I sent Savannah up there, and it's kind of, I guess, a little bit revealing too much. But we had this weird thing happen. So I was doing an EVP session, the floor below, and I asked if my wife was in danger, and then you hear it say he's up there, and then within a minute from that happening, she walkies me because something grabbed her on the back of the leg.
Oh,
Yeah, that was cool. So,
That was cool.
it was cool. That was dope.
yeah, my wife's probably braver than most because I just like throw her to the wolves all the time.
Oh,
She's a legend.
she's so cute.
We love
Yeah,
her.
Adorable.
it's like she's not into the paranormal like I am. She does it now because it's like kind of the thing that I do. So she just tags along for the adventure. And then I think the worst thing I probably did to her is I sent her up to the 5th floor at Waverly with no flashlight,
God.
just an infrared camera.
Oh,
So she's like walking around in the dark. Bats are flying all around her, and she's just like can't see anything because she has to use the infrared screen, which is only like, I don't know, 3 inches across. So she wasn't happy about that one, but
yeah, I don't blame her. Holy cannoli.
She's brave, though. I don't know if I could do that.
yeah, I don't know if people always say I'm brave. I don't know if it's brave or stupid, but we'll keep rolling with it.
That was actually part of the question. I wrote a question down. We do like Google Docs with questions that we come up with to ask. And my question was, why so brave though?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like, I think because I grew up watching paranormal TV shows. So it's
Yeah.
like you watch the TV show, and I don't know. I was always curious how it actually was in person compared to how it was like on TV.
Mhm.
So that's what initially I saw Civil War Drummer Boy when I was 11, and then I started watching the TV shows, and then I started doing it. And something I quickly realized is that, obviously there's stuff out there that can scare you, and
Mhm.
not only living or dead, but not just spirits, but like the living too. But I noticed that there was a lot of people that wouldn't like push the extremes of things in the paranormal for whether it's their own belief system or own fears. So for me, I saw that as an opportunity to thrive, because like for me, the biggest thing that I do like this year, every month, I had a location that I'd stay in for at least 4 days by myself. And I just film the entire thing and stream it. But I'm like sleeping on the couch in like an old asylum or an old infirmary, just like passed out in a sleeping bag. And people get to see kind of how boring it can be at times, but how fun it can be at times as well. But I don't know. Like, I don't really have many fears. Like I used to love cliff jumping. And the only thing I really don't like is like cave splunking, because I've done that before. But I'm very wide, so it's like it's hard to like wedge myself in between some of these crevices, and I don't really like that.
Yeah.
But outside of that, nothing really bothers me too much.
We can tell.
Yeah, when we were filming, like there was one instance where we heard something in a hallway, and like Alex jumped, and you just see me running.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's wrong with this guy?
So
You just kept running towards all the noises. We were like, what?
Yeah, literally my follow-up question on the Google Docs was, you run at everything. Why?
Well, I mean, I hate
Oh my
when I'm
God.
watching a video and they'll hear something and they don't
And they
ever go
freeze.
look at it. They'll just
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, why don't I just go see what it is? Because the first thing is like, people always tell me, or I guess tell the collective of creators now that you're like faking stuff, right? You got somebody there making noises or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, I'm just going to sprint at it and I'll try and get there as fast as I can. And you can see that I'm not doing anything,
Yeah.
but it's, I don't know. I just like running. I need to lose some weight. So that's my way to build in cardio into my investigations.
I felt that.
Gotta do what you gotta
So
do.
funny. I love your attitude though. Like just straight up, like, fuck you. Like, you think I'm faking? Well, then I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, I mean, and I love live stuff too, because it's like obviously there's people out there that can fake stuff on live, but I don't know. For me, I could have nothing happen, and I'd still enjoy being able to tell the stories and tell the history of places.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's obviously a lot more fun when you have shit happening, because if you're just sitting there and it's quiet for 6 hours, it sucks.
Definitely.
But it is part of it. Like, I mean, I won't sit here and tell you that everywhere you go, it's completely wild. So that's what I tell people all the time. It's like I could sit there and talk to paint on the wall, and it'd be somewhat entertaining, but it makes it a little bit easier when you have stuff happening.
Right.
For sure.
Kalani, can you say something again? Because you're kind of getting glitchy at the end.
No!
I was like, shit, not again.
Is it happening again?
Yeah.
Let me leave and come back.
Okay.
That's so weird. Kalani's ghosts.
I'm gonna kill
Yeah.
I'm gonna literally kill somebody.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna blame it on Robert the doll, because I have my Robert the doll that has my blood all over it sitting next to me. So we're gonna blame him.
Oh my god. I mean, that adds up.
Yep. We're gonna let that go. Moving on.
Next
Terrifying.
question.
Feel stress and anxiety.
Don't stress, Jamie.
Don't feel stressed, Jet Hummus.
just because you said it that way, I will not. Thank you. That
You're
actually
welcome.
made me feel much better.
All right. We'll ask another question. Maybe your stress will go away, Jay. So, Kalani, how did you get into the paranormal? Like, what started this whole journey for you?
Yeah, so I saw Civil War Drummer Boy when I was 11. I was on a Boy Scout camp out, and I was out at the Shiloh battlefield, which, if you're not familiar with the Civil War, it was a very bloody battle in Tennessee. But I was out tipping people's tents, and I came across a Civil War Drummer Boy that I thought was a reenactor. And then I watched this boy dissipate into the air in front of me. So it went from being a solid person to a not a person. And that was the first moment that I really had, and I haven't had anything that crazy since. But that was like my catalyst point to where, like I said, I started watching shows. He Who Shall Not Be Named, I used to watch. But I just enjoyed seeing how crazy it got. And like, it was always fun to me. And I think the unknown factor of it is something that I really enjoyed. And like, even today, I think that's what I enjoy the most about it is there's no black and white. It's all gray. Like, all of it from top to bottom is just gray. So I enjoy that because I came from a very science and math heavy background. And with math and science, you know, it's a lot less gray. I mean, once you get into theory, it's gray, but in terms of your entry level stuff up through pretty much like calculus before you get to differential equations, it's all A's and B's. But that's what I enjoy about this is there's no right or wrong way, I guess is the best way to put it. It's just your way.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah,
But
that's awesome.
so 2.5 years ago, I made my first TikTok video. I had no following. I was investigating as a hobby at that point. Like, I'd go every month or couple months just because I had a full-time job and I wasn't planning on being a ghost hunter in that capacity. But my wife gets me to post a couple videos, and then all of a sudden those videos start to get traction. And then, I think now we're over a cumulative of like 1 billion views on TikTok.
Dang. Yo.
Just ghost hunting. So very, very big change in 2.5 years.
No kidding.
Absolutely.
That's cool, though.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's the funniest comments. Is it's like, if you're not on TikTok, you probably haven't seen me. But it's like folks are like, where's this guy been?
Yeah.
How come we didn't know about him? Because you're
That's
not on
right.
TikTok, that's why.
I love TikTok. It's so
Oh, yeah.
TikTok knows exactly what you want to see. So it's like a never-ending wormhole.
Right? See,
Honestly.
here's my thing. So I
Yep, let's go there.
Yep, we're gonna go there. So one time I got suggested a Shrek thirst trap. And now now I'm down a loophole of like Shrek thirst traps, Thomas the Train thirst traps, George Washington. It's awesome.
Do you have like a kink for animated movies?
Apparently
The TikTok
Specifically
gods know.
Shrek, though.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, what gets you off? Shrek thirst traps.
literally.
I don't even have to touch myself. I just turn on Shrek thirst traps and I'm good.
Finished.
That's it.
Done. That did it for me.
I mean, he's just, he's hot.
Donkey.
With an accent.
What do you
like
look for in a guy? What do you look for in a guy? Can he do a Mike Myers Shrek accent in a erotic way?
Literally.
And then he does it, and she's like, that's it. We're getting married. I have to.
Right.
That's how she found her man.
That's how. If anybody out there is listening, that's all you got to do. Just put on a
Get
Shrek
Madeline.
costume.
If you want to
That's
date
it.
Madeline, that's exactly what you have to do. Start
So wait,
sending her
does that
DMs.
make you Princess Fiona, or are you like Lord Farquaad?
Oh,
I'm asking. That wasn't an accusation. That was a question.
I hope Princess Fiona.
Okay, well, I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
You
never know.
identify as Princess Fiona.
You don't want to. I don't want to get it wrong on you now.
he
I
can't
think I can pull
assume.
it off.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah, you can.
You've got this.
Yeah.
What was the fairy or the godmother? Remember the godmother? That lady was wild.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Shrek.
She's my
Talk.
favorite.
Shrek Talk 101.
yeah, for real. I feel like
Yeah.
every podcast, Shrek comes up at least once.
You're not doing
So
it right if it doesn't happen.
we're not gonna interview you for paranormal anymore. We just want to know your thoughts on Shrek is all.
Yeah,
I can vibe with Shrek. He was just trying to protect his plot. I mean, he wasn't bothering anybody, and they came in
No,
and
exactly.
fuck around and found out.
And he's just like really hot.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't remember watching Shrek with the intent of like, wow, I want this green guy in me, but
Well, this might be better than talking to Project Fear Crew, to be honest with you.
listen, I'm unhinged, right? I don't give two shits. I'll sit there. I had an OnlyFans for a month, but I didn't post anything like you would expect on an OnlyFans. I had a lot of first month subs, but I didn't have any month two. But it's because I was posting my first video I ever posted. This is true shit. I said dropping a huge load in my living room. And then the video that people paid for was me standing there, fully clothed, with a basket of laundry. And I dropped it on the floor. I had a lot of angry subscribers. And I was like, did you think I was going to pull my dick out or something? Because I'm just dropping laundry.
That's
so clever.
funny.
And then I did another one that was like, I've never had this much meat in my mouth. And it was just me eating a hot dog.
You've cracked the code.
I mean,
Yeah, it only worked for a month.
but you weren't
Word got
lying.
around.
No,
You
it
weren't
was the
lying.
truth. I
Yeah,
used
it was the
people's I used people's curiosities against them.
that's incredible.
I don't think they
Ugh.
appreciated that.
I think it's funny. Well, personally.
Sucks to suck.
So I'm a bit of an OnlyFans model myself.
There you go. There you go.
I fucking love that. That is so funny.
Well, guys, that's what we're doing wrong. We just need to take notes from Kalani on this one.
That's right.
Yeah, right?
The secret is to eat Taco Bell on the road, gain a bunch of weight, and then people love you.
Problem solved.
Secret to life right there.
Oh shit, man. All right. Well,
You guys got questions. Let's go back to these questions. Because if you let me guide this ship, we're gonna fucking crash and burn.
no, we're not.
It's
This
entertaining.
is fantastic.
I know,
I'm
yeah.
having the time of my life.
Honestly, Kalani, you fit right in with us, so this is perfect.
Well, so that is something I will say. When I filmed with them, partly it's because they're only a couple years older than I am, which that helps because it's like your humor's obviously gonna be pretty close. But it felt like when I first met them that I'd known them for a long time, and I think it's evident in the videos too because you don't have that weird like first time having somebody on your show meeting them feeling. It just feels like I'd known them for a lot longer. But I mean, the moment you see me meet them, I had only met them probably like an hour before at Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse!
Texas Roadhouse!
Before we get to Texas Roadhouse, because we have questions for you. You are glitchy again, just heads up.
Fuck me. Hang on, let me try using Google Chrome instead of Safari. How about that?
Okay.
I have noticed that helps me, so...
I think it's because I've got too many tabs open. I've got like 30 tabs because I'm editing right now. So maybe that's my problem. Let me just... Okay, is it back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we're on Google Chrome now, so fuck you, Apple.
Agreed.
I actually love my Mac to edit on, but for some reason Safari just doesn't ever work.
Yeah, I feel that. So, like, Texas Roadhouse rules. Do you, you said you don't remember, but the first thing you said to me was, so Texas Roadhouse rules? So,
yeah,
they are delicious, for one.
they are. I would do some questionable things.
Right.
Is
Yeah,
Texas
exactly.
Roadhouse Rolls your version of Shrek then?
It's one of them.
One of them.
It's one
He's
of
a
them.
mysterious man.
I love the cinnamon butter. Like,
Oh, yeah.
if I had a fantasy, it'd be me in a bathtub of cinnamon butter.
Yes.
If he had, as if he hasn't thought of it yet.
I know. I'm saying if I had one I could bring to life, it'd be that one. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
I mean, you could make it happen.
I don't know how many cups of butter that would take, but Texas Roadhouse, if you're listening, I'm
Sponsor
ready to
him.
get down and dirty with some cinnamon butter.
Oh, it's so good.
It is.
So good.
Well, sponsorship heading your way.
Somebody's gonna listen to this from Texas Roadhouse.
They actually used a
funny.
tweet of mine once, but they didn't tag me. I was kind of upset.
Oh,
I said, I think, what's your favorite dinner roll and why is it Texas Roadhouse? And they stole it and they didn't tag me for it. And I was like, all right, cool.
That's
That is
dirty.
rude.
I put my Twitter on there and they're like, oh yeah, this is a great comment. And I'm like, yeah, thanks for tagging me, assholes.
I deserve the credit for this one.
So I saw that sponsorship coming in really hard for a second, and then I just watched it fly out the window.
It's gone.
Thanks for
now.
tagging me, assholes.
It is what it is. They're gonna beef about it. It's fine.
I love that that's the
Anyways.
first thing we heard from you two was like just like Texas
Roadhouse rolls.
And we were all
Yeah,
like, yeah, they fucking slap.
Yeah, they are good. They are good. I eat Texas Roadhouse when I'm on the road because if you go before dinner time, you can get a better deal, but the rolls are always free.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes I've thought about just going in there to eat rolls and then leaving, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Someday it'll happen.
Maybe.
I usually fill up on rolls when I go there, and then
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
the problem.
I don't
That's
even
the
want
problem.
dinner. Yeah.
You can't get an app. You can't get anything
Yeah.
because you just fill up on the rolls and then you're like, I can't eat anymore.
Dead
So
ass.
funny.
I always leave with a box. Always.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
This is true. Always got to have a box when you leave.
Always.
All right. Well, back to it. So you said that your investigation last night, you were the first one to do it for YouTube. Like, how are you doing it? Like, you were the first one to investigate for the orphanage. You were the first to investigate last night. Like, how are you getting these places that like don't let people in?
I don't
so
know.
cool.
Honestly, I don't fucking get it. Like, I'll get messages out of the blue
Yeah.
and people are like, hey, I've got this, like for the orphanage. He's like, hey, I got this orphanage that was owned by the Oddfellows. It's like 5 buildings and it's never been touched. And I was like, this is how you talk dirty to me. So,
All he needs now is a Texas Roadhouse roll, and then the deal.
there is a Texas Roadhouse by there. That is the
Deal
elite
sealed.
location.
That's incredible.
Like every time I've investigated there, I always go to Texas Roadhouse because it's like 8
No,
minutes down the road.
I saw that. I was watching your video at the orphanage when you went with Colin.
Yeah.
And you were like, we're going to go eat some Texas Roadhouse. And I was like, I have to bring this up in the podcast now. I got to understand.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes before I invest, like, here's my commandments for investigating. I've only got one. I might have a couple, but the only one that comes to mind is I can't do it on an empty stomach. Because if I'm hungry, the last thing I'm thinking about is listening for anything. I just want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So once I eat, then I'm able to concentrate on what's going on. But the only thing is you have to be careful about what you eat before you investigate.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, Taco Bell, you just get the shits, right? So your stomach sounds like it's possessed.
It's true.
So beans are usually not a good, like, EVP solution. If you're running EVPs, probably wouldn't eat anything. Just think, like I said, it sounds like the exorcism of Emily Rose coming out of your stomach. But, yeah, you know, you just can't eat. You can't investigate on an empty stomach. And, like, I don't drink caffeine anymore, which for a while it sucked, but then it got really good because now, like, I can wake up and go to sleep really easy. Whereas before, when I'd wake up, I'd have to have, like, caffeine instantly. But I was drinking, like, 6 energy drinks a day. And I was like, this is a problem. Like, I was monitoring my heart rate and it wasn't even climbing anymore because that's how, I guess, dull I was to caffeine.
Dang.
Yeah.
Shoot.
So, yeah, I don't drink them anymore just because, I don't know, water's pretty cool.
It is. It's essential.
And
This
it's
is
good for
true.
you. Yeah. Needed to survive. So when you guys were at the orphanage with you and Project Fair, Chelsea kept getting ignored. So we were wondering if that happened to Savannah when you took her there the first time.
No. When I took Savannah, she got stuff. She actually got really sick. And she doesn't like that place. One, because it's just creepy as shit, and it's like in the middle of nowhere, and the cell service is super spotty. So if you had something happen, it's not going to be great. Which I always have a gun, unless the state doesn't allow me to have a gun.
My dad's always like with Project Fair, he's like, they need to have protection. They need guns or something. So
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm a big dude, but I mean, I'm 2 shots away from being dead on the doorstep. So I'd rather in my head, I can't run very fast, but I can shoot a lot quicker.
fair.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I'm not running around waiting to shoot somebody that's trying to kill me. But, you know, if I got somebody running at me with like a machete, I'd rather shoot somebody than have to try and fight a guy with a machete.
Right.
Valid point.
I will say that a couple of times during the whole, like, Tanner saying, oh my God, I think somebody's in here. And when you went, I was like, he's a big dude. Like, I think I would shit my pants if I saw him running at me like that. Like,
Yeah, no. So I played football. Like, I was really good at football. Before I started investigating, I lost a bunch of weight. I was down to like 235, feeling good. And then I started investigating full time, and you're always on the road. So my diet and workout went to shit. So, like, I weighed probably, like, I don't know, 315, 320 pounds, just running around trying to hit people.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I was about to
Doesn't
say.
even like have anything to do with your weight, though. You're just like, you're tall. You're a big guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, my dad's Hawaiian and my mom's white. So, like, my dad's also a large individual. Like, even, I'm just very wide. Like, even if I wasn't a little bit, you know, thicker around the edges, I'm very wide. So it's just, I'm big bone, honey. Don't worry about it.
Love that voice.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't fuck with you if I was in that situation. I'd be like, all right, I'm leaving. Bye.
Yeah, I've made a couple people shit themselves that show up where I'm at.
Good. As they should.
honestly.
Like
Yeah.
Norwich State Hospital, because I know they've done a video there. That place, there's people showing up all the time. Fucking all the time you're there. There's somebody breaking in. Like, there was a guy, one of the times I was there, that just showed up with a machete, and I'm like, hey, you can't be here. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, wow, glad you weren't fucking nuts, because that would have been fun.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
Yeah.
With a machete, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. People do some weird shit in abandoned places.
That I believe.
People scare me.
Yeah.
True.
People are scarier than ghosts.
Oh
in my
yeah.
opinion.
Always.
I don't know. Did we let you fully answer that question though, Kalani? I think we kind of got sidetracked.
Oh, sorry. This is my unmedicated ADD. What was the question?
No, you're good. You're good. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't interrupt you. So you were saying like Savannah didn't get.
Oh
ignored
yeah.
like Kathy
Okay,
did?
no, we're back. The train is back. Yeah. So Savannah got really sick. But she was getting interactions upstairs. But it does seem like they respond to males more there, and that could be partly just because the Oddfellows was a fraternal society.
Mhm.
But I really do think that whatever that thing she caught on camera was following her around. And I say that in the video. Like, I think that's part of why nothing wanted to come through and talk with her is because if that thing's following her around for whatever reason, then if there is something there that's not like crawling on the ceiling, it's probably not going to be keen to come out and talk when you got a thing crawling on the ceiling at you.
For real. Especially if it's a bunch of like kids that.
Yeah. Like if I was a kid, I'd be shitting my pants if I saw some crawler on the ceiling.
Away from that. Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah.
Terrifying. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that was scary seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that thing, I don't know what it was, but I mean, it was, you can't see like super clear what it was, but you can see enough to see that it's something, right? Because sometimes people will point at a ball on the screen that's dust and be like, it's fucking Aunt Susie. And I'm like, sure, honey. Sure. That's Aunt Susie. That's Aunt Susie. And you got Bill right next to her. It's another dust speck. But that one was weird.
Yeah.
That one was weird. It was the way it was shaped was weird.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I'm like, I swear to God, like I see a leg.
Ew.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
it really
it looked
does
like
look
a
like
leg.
something crawling.
Yeah, it was gross.
Disturbing.
And when you said it, it gave me like goosebumps. It was just like, oh my God, it's a crawler.
Yeah, because I always think about the one at Waverly. Like they always talk about the crawler, the creeper, the crawler, whatever you want to call it at Waverly. Like that's kind of what it looked like to me.
Yeah,
Ugh.
agree.
No thanks.
Ugh.
No thank you.
Ew.
Yeah.
For real. I would probably shit myself if I.
I would have left immediately. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
just why
it's
you carry
fine.
extra pants.
Yeah,
Extra pants.
the bag on Dakota's back at all times. Yeah, it's just got a couple.
It's just diapers and extra
clothes.
pants. I've seen inside it.
Pro tips.
You don't
from
even
Kalani.
need equipment. You don't even need any equipment. Just take some adult Depends and a couple meat.
That's why their
sticks
pants are
and
so baggy.
A couple meat
pants.
sticks.
I'm sure you could do something with that on OnlyFans too. Just a heads up.
I haven't posted on there since my first month. My wife wasn't too keen on it, and like when I posted it on my Instagram link, I think I put like the little chili pepper, and I was like spicy link, because that's what people do.
Yeah.
And I had like 700 clicks on the link, which is the highest out of anything I've ever had on Instagram. At least.
So
I'm like, wow, 700 people wanted to see my wiener.
You're like,
You
who
know?
cares about ghosts?
Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
wow, this is good. Thank you
That's so
for
funny.
the $10.
It's gonna be a nice confidence boost for you.
I mean, yeah, but you're assuming that it's good reasons they want to see it. It could be bad reasons.
And that's true.
That's true.
You're not wrong.
I've got a lot of people that just hate to love me or love to hate me, whichever one.
I mean, either way, they're giving you the $10, so
This is true. This is true. The shitty comments are still comments at the end of the day.
Yeah.
people still
Mhm.
I
clicking
mean, they're
on your
paying for it.
stuff,
So
mm-hmm.
people will come out of the woodworks for that shit, though. Because somebody made a fake account of me one time. And, like, I've never seen so many
Ooh.
people follow an account.
Wow. What's this?
I
account?
know. Apparently, I'm in the wrong thing,
Yeah.
I told you that one, bitch.
It's funny, but people are weird. So
Well, hey, at least people can spell your name right. Fucking, I got it in my damn username, and people still fuck it up.
Yeah.
Listen,
People
I
mispronounce
love the comments are cool, but when you start seeing Klein, I'm like, fucking
Klein.
what? KLINE CLINONI, and I'm like, who the fuck is spelling this? Fucking, my name is literally in my username. Just open your eyes.
Yeah.
it's like, people, come on.
That's
I've had that
horrible.
happen to me a few times too.
I've had
Yeah.
it happen my entire life, so I'm used to it. Because like when they used to call my
Yeah.
name out in school, they'd fuck it up all the time, and I'm like, here we go, here we go again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that.
What is the worst butchering of your name that you've gotten then?
I had Milani once with an M. I was like, where the fuck did you
Ooh.
get the M from? I think that might have been.
Milani.
I was like, wow, I sound like an exotic dancer.
Ooh.
An exotic dancer or a processed meat, you decide.
That could be your OnlyFans.
Great.
I was just about to
Milani.
say.
Oh my God.
Milani.
I would just like to pause for a second. Did someone say hello?
I
Like,
heard a
was that a
screaming
person?
somewhere.
Oh, that was my brother.
Okay. Just making sure.
I
Just
just
making
texted
sure.
him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I about EVP'd my pants.
Sorry.
Yeah, you know what? It wouldn't It wouldn't be weird if it was something else. I don't know.
It
Just,
could've been
just making
Robert.
sure.
It could've been
Continue
Robert
on.
the Doll. He's sitting next to Kalani, you know, just saying hi.
Honestly, like, yeah.
Yeah, that I caught a lot of shit on that video. Apparently, people weren't keen on me putting a needle in my hand and giving blood to Robert the Doll, but shit happens.
I haven't seen that yet, but I kind of want to.
Oh yeah, so my buddy Exploring with Josh, we go down to Key West to Robert the Doll, and me and him had this bright idea that we were going to put a needle in our hand and do a blood ritual offering to Robert the Doll.
Oh my god!
You can watch the rest of that one; it's a great one. But yeah, I've got the doll that I used in the episode just sitting here looking at me.
Holy shit!
Ah,
That sounds scary. I'm gonna watch it for sure.
Yeah, you can, I blur out the needle, so if you get your rocks off to that, I'm sorry, but you can't see it.
It doesn't have Shrek, so you're good.
Listen, we don't kink shame around here unless shaming's your kink.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I'll pass on that one. I'm a little I ain't trying to not
She's
sleep
scared.
tonight. No.
My house is haunted, so I try to avoid things that I know are gonna fuck
it
up my
worse.
night.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to hear my like really deep theory on haunting? Like,
Yeah.
like this
Absolutely.
is really out in the weeds in my head, but it's really hard to make content surrounding this theoretical approach, which other people have talked about it. But I've had an experience, and it sounds really crazy, but I was doing a live stream once, and I had something come through on an Estes session that told me it was from the year 2082.
Ooh.
So my first thought was, I was like, oh, this spirit's full of shit. He's trying to fuck with me. So I played along. I was like, all right, Mr. 2082, what's your name? And I get a name, first and last name. And then I was like, well, what are you doing here? And he tells me he's ghost hunting. And I was like, okay. And he thought I was the ghost that he was ghost hunting for in the same space that I was in. And I started asking questions because that kind of piqued my interest. And I asked him if he was like a sensitive or a psychic. And he said that he could hear and see things that other people couldn't hear and see. So I was like, okay, well, this is interesting. So I was like, all right, well, is Facebook still around? And he's like, yeah, no one really uses it, but it's still there. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like, it's probably like AOL used to be, or MySpace, I guess. And I was like, all right, what's your grandfather's name? Because he should be alive in my time. And I get a name, and I got a city and state. And I looked this guy up on Facebook, and no shit, I find this guy. Right name, right city, right state. And then I start looking, and he's super deep on interdimensional travel and astral projection threads on Facebook. And I start scrolling on his page, and you hear this gentleman I was talking to through Estes say, this is getting dangerous, I have to go. And then the communication stopped. That was the first time it ever happened. So then it gets weird. The next time I do one of my week-long, it only happens on my week-long lockdowns, but then you start thinking about it because I dox myself every time that I go live because it's like, as part of promotion, you have to say where you're at. So I could go back and look a year ago and I could tell you exactly where I was on this date and what I was doing. And I could even watch the entire video from that time. So theoretically, if someone from the future wanted to go back and figure out where I would be in February of 2023 at this time, and they'd know I'd be there for a week, if they were trying to make contact with me as their ghost, they could go back and do that. So I go to the Madison Seminary in Ohio, and I'm staying there for a week, and then it starts happening again. We're not talking with things that are dead or perceived to be dead. We're talking to things that are alive in a different time. But where it got really weird is I could hear myself ghost hunting for myself.
What?
And I hear my voice coming through the spirit box trying to reach out to me. And I hear Adam Kimmel's voice coming through. And they're like talking to each other about trying to talk with us.
What?
the fuck?
That's wild.
So that led me down this rabbit hole of like, okay, we have this notion that everything that we're communicating with is dead, right? We think that it's already has been at some point, and for whatever reason, that energy is residually staying somewhere, or something has conjured it there, or something has brought it there. But more recently, after this year especially, it's what if things are existing all at once in different planes and parallels in time. And, there's orphans at the Oddfellows orphanage that are hearing voices of Project Fear and Me asking for them to come through. And they think they're going crazy because they hear a ghost in their room, but it's just us investigating for them in a different time.
That's so cool.
I have that. I definitely believe in that theory for sure.
Because it's like when you look at astrophysics, right? And you look at time as a linear notion, it's not possible. Like it would take too long. But if you bend space and time, which is where a lot of astrophysics is lost, right, is the bending of space and time. And that's where you would find your time travel and your crazy shit like that. They don't necessarily have all the answers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my question is what if we're not interacting with anything that's dead? It's just alive, but we've been so stuck in this idea that we're talking to things that have been, but have left out the possibility of things that could be.
Exactly. Yeah. I have thought that for a while now. We've actually discussed it on the podcast before. But it's kind of hard to like put into words sometimes because it's such a broad
yeah, I mean, you can't really get super specific because it's like there's a lot of unknown factors, and it's like for me, I can't really make content about, you know, trying to talk to the future because people think I'm crazy already, but then you throw in the fact that I'm trying to talk to myself in 20 years and they're like, oh, this guy's on fucking meth. But
yeah,
I mean, that's what's crazy is when it's one thing to have someone say they're psychic and they're surprised that you're alive in the room that they're in hunting for them and they're hunting for you, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's weird. And that makes you wonder, right? Is everything set in stone? Like, do we make the does our future self make the decisions that our present self makes, or do they make different ones and we end up in different realities?
Yeah. Yeah. My mom was the one that I had that discussion with years ago. And she's like, but what if these people aren't dead and we're all existing in the same timeline? And
yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I think. I think for whatever reason, I think there are environmental factors that could play into that, right? Like I think electromagnetic fields and gravitational pull and different other natural found phenomenon can open up these windows of communication, right? Or if I always tell people, right, we have 100% of our brain, but most of us use 100% of it works, but 20% of it's usually what we're accessing on a daily basis.
Yeah.
What is the other 80% for? Right. And with how much electricity our brains produce, how much of that is being unused or just we're not able to use it in the capacity in which we should use it. So that's what's weird is it's like for people that out there that are truly gifted or can hear and see things that I can't hear or see, what if they're just tapping into a lens that I have, but I just don't know how to use?
Yeah.
And they're seeing things in the room, but they're not dead. They're just alive in their time, but they perceive them to be dead because that's what we've been told and that's what makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, you could literally just keep going. Like, so many questions.
That's cool.
I'm silent because I'm having an existential crisis.
Literally,
I like that though. It's pretty cool thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to keep you on your toes. One minute we'll be talking about green dicks. The next we'll jump down time.
That's funny.
All right. I have returned to reality after that one.
After green dicks.
That's so great. Crazy to think about though. Like your story just like that really fucked me.
Like, it got your mind going all.
Holy shit, man.
Like I don't bring it up a ton. Like I'll have people that have watched that before, be it like when I was at New Jersey, somebody brought it up and I was like, here we go. I got to jump down the worm. And that's just wild. Like when you're telling somebody you're ghost hunting for yourself, but this person's 20 years in front of you, like you sound like you're crazy. But it just changes the perception of what we believe ghosts, quote unquote, to be.
Right.
I don't think it's crazy. I think it's just something that people are either too scared to think about or just don't have the mental, emotional capacity to be able to even try to fathom. So everybody's like, yeah, okay. They're like, oh, I'm kind of dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely takes some open-mindedness, but in the same breath, it's like to believe in any of this, it takes some open-mindedness because we can't tangibly hold a ghost. We can't create a ghost on demand. We can't capture a ghost on demand. It takes a little bit of that faith component, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that open-mindedness. So, I don't know. I've seen people believe in crazier shit.
True.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like, if you can believe in the fact that ghosts are real, why can't you believe in the fact that maybe we are talking to future versions of us?
Yeah, I mean that's what gets weird. And like, what if when we die, like that's the depending on where you are religiously. I'm not going to jump down a religious wormhole, but the energy's got to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So where does it go?
Exactly.
Now I'm just thinking.
Wow.
Spiraling.
Spiraling.
We're all getting big brain energy now.
So, are there any major differences between your style of investigating and Project Fears?
I mean, no. I feel like we're all using pretty much the same equipment. I think that in that regard, we're the same. I think obviously they're not running like I am, but they don't need to. Like that's the style that they are. I mean, some of them are just jumpy, and that's part of the process. Is like that's okay to be jumpy. I don't think everyone, like I said, is it bravery or stupidity with me? Because I'm out here sprinting towards stuff. Maybe I should be more cautious. I don't know. But in terms of like, you know, what we're capturing and what we're believing, I mean, I think that's why the episode ran so smoothly, is because it was very similar in my belief system and their belief system, and it kind of just lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could see
it
that.
was very smooth. You
Like
guys
I said,
messed
you
it
would have
up.
never guessed that I had never met them,
No.
you know, before that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the night that I met them, was like an hour before we started filming. So I think that's something that would probably surprise people because of how well it ran. But
You guys just clicked instantly.
yeah, I mean, it's like I told my wife, it felt like we'd been friends for forever, but our humor is very similar. And I think that's one thing that I do enjoy about filming with them and some of my other friends is like, I think the biggest thing for interaction is personality. Like anyone can go take a recorder and sit in a room for 6 hours, but that doesn't mean that anything in that space wants to connect with you. But if you're funny, you're having a good time, your energy's good, I feel like that opens the possibility of something happening a lot more.
Yeah,
For
sure. I love
So
that.
long story short, not really any differences.
So I had a question along the lines of that. What piece of equipment have you found to be like the most effective? Like what's your go-to? Because
I have
had
two.
a couple
I have
that were
two.
different.
I love my recorder because like to me that's still probably the coolest things to capture, are voices coming through that weren't there. I mean, like a lot of this stuff going off is cool, but there's also a lot of things that can set these things off inadvertently. But recorder I love, and I love the Estes method. I don't know. I feel like it's the best way to try and connect with somebody because it's letting somebody be the antenna compared to a device being the antenna. I mean, obviously you're speaking through the device, but the intent is channeling through the person that's listening.
Yeah.
And I can't listen very well, but when my wife does it, she obviously listens better than I do. We seem to have had some really good interactions in the past. Not every time. I mean, if it were to happen every time, then I'd be a multi-billionaire because I can talk to ghosts 24/7. But you know, the interactions we have had make me really enjoy that.
Yeah. I've talked about this on the podcast, I think twice before, but I was able to do like kind of an Estes method session, and it was like the coolest fucking thing I've ever experienced in my life. Like I wish people would use that more because it is such a weird experience. Like you can't really explain it until somebody actually goes and does it.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
fun.
For sure. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Definitely looks fun. I want to do it.
Yeah, like if you've never done it before, like it's a really cool experience.
2024. I know what we're doing.
Yeah, you guys how many times have you guys investigated? Have you investigated before?
Nope.
No.
You haven't.
Nope.
You have
I've
to
technically investigated my own home.
It counts.
So yeah, that's about it for me too.
I mean, I've definitely been to like really haunted locations. Like we went to Pinhurst for the Paracon. That in itself, the short amount of time we were there, it was very scary. And we took pictures down in the tunnels and we got something. That was cool. And then I've been to the Charleston jail in Charleston, South Carolina. And that place is scary as shit. But I've never actually investigated. I've just been on the location at night doing like a little tour. But I caught a fuck ton of orbs in a picture that I took outside. One of my favorite pictures to date, for sure. But that's the extent of what I've done. So
I mean, another thing I'll tell you is it's like, don't feel like if you don't have equipment or like a lot of equipment that needs to be your barrier of entry, because I mean, at the end of the day, I love the equipment, but a lot of it is just like $10 worth of Chinese crap parts dressed in a 3D box. And, you know, that doesn't need to be, I think you can have an experience without ever having to pick up a piece of equipment. And I think that's the beautiful part of it is people always say it in super cliche, but it's like you're the best instrument you can have. But I really do think by just putting yourself in these spaces with the intent of something to come forward and have an experience with you, that is the biggest piece of equipment or piece of mind you could have.
I love that.
Yeah.
No,
The
I mean,
right
like for someone
environment.
watching at home, right? It's really hard
Yeah.
to like display, yeah, I feel something here. But when the equipment's confirmation for that, then that's cool. But I think if you're not somebody that's planning on, you know, making your own videos, then by all means, just go to a place, investigate. Like before I started making videos, I would go sit in a room for 4 hours in the dark, just doing EVP sessions, because to me, that was what was fun. And obviously now I can't do that way because no one's going to watch a 4-hour video of a guy sitting in the pitch black with no lights on.
I mean, they might.
I mean, they might. Well,
You never know.
but I don't. For me, I love the storytelling component now, and it's like I love the investigating, and I love, you know, when interactions happen. But for me, I love history, and I love supporting these places that are still trying to preserve history. So, like, that's one of the biggest things that I enjoy is telling the story of the people and the places that I go to, so that people learn more.
I think that's so cool to be able to tell people stories. And I think it's really important to share that history because as we've seen so many times, history repeats itself. So what you do is such an important thing, I feel like, sharing the shit that we've done that was so wrong so we don't do it again.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is it's like I tell people all the time, if a big enough solar flare came through and wiped out all of our electronic systems, we would be back to like the Stone Age. And it's just crazy because you look through history and so many times due to ignorance or the lack of knowledge, things do repeat themselves. And it's not because people are trying to repeat things. Well, sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's just because people didn't know what happened already. So then they just let it happen again.
The world's a weird place, man.
It's
just
true.
like the whole like solar flare thing. It's just like, oh God. Like watching some of these episodes, specifically like the orphanage, the train, it's on a schedule. Like you're there, you're stuck. I cannot imagine living in that time. And like the possibility of one thing going wrong for us and just like being back in that vulnerable state, like that's so bizarre to me.
Yeah, I try not to think about that. Listen, I'm a big conspiracy theory guy. I love a good conspiracy theory. Like,
yeah.
I get out into the weeds on some of them. Like some of them I'm like, yeah, there's no way. But some of them like, all right, maybe. I could see it maybe.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised in if like 20 years I'll be on that Doomsday Prepper show. Just see me hoarding like 20 boxes of Twinkies and a AK down in my basement or something.
Went from ghost hunting to doomsday prepping.
Oh, that's funny.
Bring a bunch of haunted objects down there so when I'm bored I can just investigate my bunker.
You might be onto something here. People would watch that.
You'll never be alone. You'll always have friends. It's all good.
I'll always have friends in my bunker.
Yep.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Funny.
That's hilarious.
To circle back to what you were saying about our bodies are like the best instruments you could have, do you believe that you have to be open-minded for that to be a possibility for you though? Or like, do you think if people walk in as a skeptic that would hinder them in having experiences?
Yes and no. I've seen people that are very skeptical that have had experiences, but I've also seen people very skeptical that have not had experiences. But I think having an open mind is important just because, again, this is a lot of believing in things that we can't see with our own eyes sometimes.
Right.
And like I have found that men have a hard time with this a lot. I'm trying to be sexist out here, but like I feel like a lot more women are open and emotionally and spiritually open. And I feel like it's an easier connection for women than it is for men. And I think that's a battle in itself because a lot of people will be like, you know, my husband thinks I'm full of shit, but I truly feel or see something. And I think that component's really hard to deal with for folks. But I think having an open mind is important in the capacity of you're going to not restrict something from happening or having an experience. But it's not a requirement because I have seen people that didn't believe in it, but they were still scared of the environment. I'm like, you don't believe in it, but you're scared to walk in the building. What's the dilemma?
Point. Yeah. Good point.
Very contradictory, for sure.
Do you do anything to protect yourself before an investigation?
I'm like the worst person to ask for this because I literally ask for attachments all the time. I've never had a cleansing done. I've never done anything in terms of protection. Now, I will say I've had people that claim to be psychics that have told me that my native Hawaiian background gives me a protection barrier. So do with that as you will. I think mental mindset is a big part of what happens to people. But I think there's not a right or wrong way to protect yourself, I guess, for folks out there that don't want something to go with them. I think whatever you put your faith and belief into, whether that be a cleansing or a prayer or a crystal, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as you are putting your energy and belief into that specific thing protecting you, it usually can do that job.
That's a really cool thing, because like nobody really talks about that.
Yeah, no.
So you hear every once in a while like people doing like prayers or like some kind of thing to do that, but like being able to have the belief that you're protected by a certain thing, that's really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it would be very selfish to try and tell you that this is the only way or right way to do something, because it's my perception on what I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's only fair to say that whatever you put your energy and belief into is what will protect you, because that's what I truly believe. I think, I'm not a big, tarot card guy or crystal guy or any of that, but I can still have the respect and appreciation that someone has a spirituality in something else.
Yeah.
And if that gives them the peace of mind that they can go home and not worry about something following them, and that in itself is what protects them, then who am I to tell them that's not right?
Yeah,
I just love your attitude.
honestly.
Like
it has grown into this. I will say, when I first started, I was a firecracker that thought he knew everything in the world. But it has progressively grown this way. So
yeah, aren't we all like that though? Before we actually live,
it's true. We think, I miss the days when my parents paid the bills.
Yeah.
Like, every time I get bills every month, I'm like, shit, man, they told me I was gonna hate it, but man, this sucks. Like, look at your account's looking nice and healthy, and then all of a sudden the bills hit, and you're like, well, I can eat a McDouble today. Nice.
Right?
Yeah. Oh man.
Felt that for sure.
Honestly.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here like fully taking in everything you're saying, so that's why I'm just like processing. I haven't been very responsive. I apologize, but I'm just like, dang, I like this. I like these
It's
thoughts
so much to think.
you're throwing at us.
Yeah. And it's so different, because like most people who share their opinions and share their beliefs usually have like the same beliefs. So it's nice to hear someone talk so bluntly and so like open about it without being like, well, this is my opinion, this is the way to do it,
Well, and I think that's the biggest problem with this entire field.
Yeah.
Is so many people believe what they're doing to be the gospel truth, but at the end of the day, none of us actually know. Like, there for a while, a lot of YouTubers took heat for the demon in the title thing, which algorithmically, it's literally just a way for your video to get pushed on YouTube.
Yeah.
But, people took offense to that, and people made a big deal about that. But at the end of the day, none of us knows 100% certainty what's a demon, what's not a demon. Like, the classifications that we're presented with are because somebody thought that. It's not because it was proven. So if our field's based entirely in theory, it's not fair to sit there and tell people what's real and what's fake based off of what you believe. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like, if they came out tomorrow and said electromagnetic fields have nothing to do with ghosts, and you all are just running around with a bunch of shit in your bag and it's malfunctioning going off, what would we all say? Would we say that everyone was blatantly faking, or would we say that there's an ignorance to this theoretical approach and we'll just have to learn from it and get better? Right. So I think that's the biggest problem, is people are dead set that they're right and everybody else is wrong. And if somebody does something that you wouldn't do or you don't like, that it makes them worse than you. But at the end of the day, like, the only thing that gives me validity is numbers next to my name, which the reason I say it that way is because it's not anything that makes me better than anybody else. Like, people watch me for sure, but that doesn't mean that I am a professional in the sense of I'm an expert. Right. And even the people that claim to be experts, they think they know what they know, but they don't know the things that they know are true.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's like we're all just kind of shooting an arrow in the dart, hoping that it hits a dartboard, but we don't know what the dartboard is and we don't know what's on it. But if we have something that sticks, we just run with that as truth.
Yeah,
for sure.
You're a breath of fresh air, man. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, literally.
Yep.
Honestly.
Well, and people love the dark stuff, which, I enjoy a twisted story and twisted history as well. But, it's like, it's really sad that you have to put demon in the title of something for somebody to watch because they want something out there to be afraid of.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like horror is its own genre, but that's just the human nature of people. That's why when you turn on the nightly news, it's never anything positive. It's always, 3 people robbed, somebody else was murdered, somebody's house caught on fire, because misery and bad things sell more than positive things. That's just human nature.
It's true.
Very true.
Craziness. Absolutely fucking crazy.
It's just you share a lot of the same views that we have.
Yeah.
Especially, I just wish people, I remember back during the summer when that whole demon thing was so big on social media, and it's just everybody wants to jump the gun, and it's like they want to make themselves appear to be better sometimes, it seems like, or that they know more, and it's like, come on. Like,
well, a lot of times they
here.
think by making someone look bad that the people that follow this person that you made look bad will then come follow you. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
They may lose followers, but those people aren't going to come back to you and be like, you know what, jackass, you were right. I'm going to follow you now because you called them out. Like, that's not what happens. What happens is that person may be affected, sure, or they may not be affected. But at the end of the day, you're not going to gain anything other than looking like an asshole for no reason.
Exactly.
Literally.
Well, and some people may agree with you, but there's a lot of people who don't. So,
and they may not ever write anything that they don't agree, but you'll just watch people silently fall off.
Yeah.
Well, my
And
thing
I
with all
noticed-
that. Go ahead, Matt.
Sorry. I was just about to say that I noticed that a lot of the people that were giving the shit were smaller creators. And I mean, I don't want to be an asshole in that sense, but it's like, what are you doing? Are you trying to piggyback off of this sole creator that you're attacking for your own personal gain? But
Basically.
it's like, I don't understand it.
Well, the biggest tagline that makes me laugh is, I'm not doing this for clicks or views.
You're
and I'm
right.
like, then why are you posting? If you
Yeah.
don't want somebody to watch it, then why do you put it up?
Exactly.
I think the statement should be, I'm not doing this for clicks and views because no one clicks and views my stuff.
Yeah. And it's your livelihood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a job, like for Dakota and them and for me and the other people out here, it's your business now. And it's like, you have to look at it as a business. So if you're telling me today, and like a lot of the locations that for me personally that I've wrote demon in the title of, I usually will clear it with the location owner. I'll be like, hey, is this cool with you? And I've never had an issue with it ever. Like they're just like, oh yeah, cool. You're saying it'll help the video do better algorithmically? Absolutely. Put it in the title because we want more people to watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, sure. So like there's this one guy, he follows everything that I do. And if I put demon in the title somewhere, he will email the owner and be like, do you know that he put demon in the title?
Wow.
And a lot of times the owner will just respond and be like, yeah, he told me he was going to do that. I'm glad he did. And it's like, there's so many people out there that just want to watch other people suffer. And I think that's the misery loves company effect.
Yeah.
But, I'm in the mindset of, I want my friends to succeed and do well. And I don't believe that their success or failure has any impact on me.
Exactly. Though.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too that I was gonna say was that all those people that are like, "Oh, you can't say there's demons here," blah blah blah. It's like, were you there though? Did you experience what these people experienced while they were there? Like, it's back to what you said earlier, Kalani. It's all your perception. Like, maybe you did think that you experienced something dark or evil or even demonic. Like, that's your own experience, and you're just telling people what you thought you experienced.
Well, down south, I mean, truly, a lot of these people think that anything that you're interacting with is demonic. So are you going to sit there and tell those people that they can't write demon in the title because they believe everything that they talk to is a demon?
It's true.
You don't have a place. Like you don't have the tangible proof 100% that something is or isn't something.
Exactly.
So just shut the hell up.
Exactly.
Literally. I have a lot of people, and I've never thought about it until you mentioned it, but so my bosses are very religious, and I'm very religious as well, but every time I mention, I'm going to a paranormal convention, I watch this paranormal show, all this other kind of stuff, she's like, that's a demon. That's a demon. You shouldn't associate yourself with that. And I'm like, okay. I roll, But
I mean, I've met a lot more living people that are more demonic than I have dead ones.
Ain't that the truth?
Facts.
Oh,
Way more. Way
literally. Yeah,
Wait,
people really
wild.
have a tendency to suck.
Well, it's just
They're really good at it.
it's just you're just viewing the world from your viewpoint, which that doesn't mean it's bad or good. We just have different opinions, and that's okay. Like, why can't we have different opinions?
Yeah, like that's my
Yeah.
thing is I don't expect people to 100% believe everything that I believe the way that I believe it.
Yeah.
But I try and at least give people the respect of letting them believe what they believe.
Yes.
It's like, I've met a lot of people that tell me they're gifted or psychic, which some of them I'm like, are you really? Are you not? But it's not my place to tell them what they are or aren't seeing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't
Exactly.
matter. It's not hurting me for them to have a belief system that's different from mine. And I think that's
Exactly.
in history, that's where we've gotten in a lot of trouble. Like, more people have died in the name of religion than any other cause. But that's because people go with the mindset of, we're gonna write things off as religion so we can go take the land and property and the items of these people, because that's the easiest sell point for people is, well, they don't believe in us and they want to kill us, so let's go kill them first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think that's not in the extreme form of murder, but when people are so stuck in what they believe in and they don't have the capacity of having an open mind or just not even caring. I think that's the other thing is it's like these people are dying on hills that they don't need to die on, all for what?
Yeah.
So they can look like a dick on social media. Like my motto, and this is something that I really do live by, is if I can turn my phone off and that problem disappears, it's not a real problem.
Yep.
I like
Yeah.
that a lot, actually.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good point.
Especially in this day and age where social media is so freaking big.
Yeah.
Well, and there's so many people that suffer from imposter syndrome and just feeling like they're not enough, because you'll get on social media and you're seeing the highlight reel of someone's life, right? At the end of the day, you're seeing the best moments of someone's life. You're not seeing the arguments. You're not seeing problems. You're seeing the good moments. So when you stack yourself up to someone's highlight reel, you're like, wow, my life sucks. Like, this person's out here driving a $400,000 car with this, that, or the other as a partner. My life is not even anywhere close to that. But then you're not looking at the behind the scenes of the shit that they're not posting on social media. And I think that's the biggest issue that people are having. And, a lot of people suffer from mental issues regarding social media because they feel like they're not living up to the perceived lifestyle of those around them, when in actuality, everyone has the same problems. Everyone's going through the same shit, but no one just talks about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Couldn't agree more.
Society is weird.
Mm-hmm.
I wish more people talked about it like that instead of, because like I work in an elementary school and I see so many kids that are so impressionable and trying so hard to be like grown ass adults that you see online. How some of the kids dress. It's like, you are 10 years old, bro. Like, calm down. Like, you don't need to come into elementary school looking like a little model. Like, put your hair in a bun.
Yeah,
like,
I think
some
it's
sweatpants.
people have been forced to grow up a lot faster because they see things and perceive things in a different lens than I had growing up.
Yeah.
But
God,
I tell people all the time when I first started, I quit my job at 10,000 followers. I was not making nearly enough money to quit, but I was a legislative assistant for a House of Representatives member in Tennessee. And I was thinking of being in the political world, and I just quit. And I went content full time, wasn't making nearly the amount of money to be made, but I was living in the back of my car so that I didn't have to pay for hotels so that I could afford to go to the locations. And I was like eating tuna cans. But I tell people that not because I want people to have sympathy, but I want people to realize that, when I started this journey, I wasn't equipped to be where I'm at today, but because I made the sacrifices that I made. And I think the biggest thing for me is transparency and authenticity. So like
100%.
when you tell people the journey it takes to get somewhere and they're seeing what's going into it, they're a lot more willing to support you because they see where their support is going.
Right.
Like, because for me, right, I'm like, okay, guys, we need new cameras so I can make you guys better videos. And then all of a sudden the new cameras are there, right? Or we need this X amount of money to get to this location so I can do this for you because I'm doing something on top of something I already am doing, right? So I think when what you're experiencing now is like people would rather deal with someone that's authentic and transparent rather than like there's a big gap between TV fandoms and TV stars. I think Project Fear is kind of the exception on that because they're very engaging with their audience.
Yep.
But a lot of the other TV people, not even just paranormal, there's like a barrier between them and the people that support them. Right. And for me, it's the complete opposite. Like my phone sits on do not disturb all day because I just have so many people that send me stuff and I can't respond to all of them like I used to. But I mean, it's really easy to get a hold of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You're doing it right,
Yeah.
in our opinion.
Everybody spits and shits the same way. It's like
Yeah.
Exactly. We're all
we all
humans.
put our pants on the same way every morning. You know, we're all going to die at some point. So like Dustin Perry is a good friend and he's always talking about just enjoying this human experience together. And that's kind of the mindset that I've adopted. This is like, we're all experiencing this life. Why not make it a good one?
Yeah.
For real.
Exactly, though.
And like for me, if by making these videos, I can bring entertainment and joy to someone. My biggest thing is I love taking people on adventures with me because there's so many people that have told me like, you know, I'm disabled. I can't go anywhere. I've got a family. I've got kids. I don't have the money to do what you do, but I can vicariously watch what you're doing and live through it. And at first I was like, that's a corny line. But then you start thinking about it and you're like, these people really do find not only entertainment, but like an escape from their 9 to 5 or escape from their relationships or escape from anything going wrong in their life. They can turn on the video and just kind of fall into whatever you're doing. And it gives them a break from what they're doing. And I think people really do appreciate that. So
even just fulfillment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
and
you don't have to be there. Yeah.
Honestly, Kalani, you have given us like so many things to think about.
For real.
Great.
Like I said, I like mixing it up, you know. I enjoy having fun. I like being entertaining, but I also like tickling brains a little bit.
Yeah. That's one way to put it. Yeah.
Everybody needs a good brain tickle every now and then.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
You're also our season 2 finale for our podcast, so this is like perfect.
Well, good. I'm glad I can be a happy ending for you.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was the happy ending for Project Fear, and I'll be the happy ending for you.
There you go.
Thank you for coming on the pod. We appreciate it so much. It was so great talking to you, Kalani.
Yeah, thanks for fitting us in your busy schedule.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday, and I appreciate it.
Thanks. We hope you do too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Go crush that video.
Yeah!
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening to Fear Babes podcast, starring us. We're really happy that you came in. Really happy that you stopped by. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, Kalani, for coming on and sparking with us. You're so great. We love you. We think you're awesome. And we were super happy to talk to you. So,
hell yeah.
Madeline.
Agreed.
And she's not imitating Kalani's accent. I'm pretty sure she's imitating mine,
you.
so.
I'm imitating yours, baby. Yes.
Oh my god, I'm so honored. Truly,
Mhm.
truly.
Oh, bitch. You fucking
Now that you're talking in a southern accent, mine is starting to come out a little bit more. y'all should just always talk in a southern accent, and I'll just be myself.
I
So
also mimic, so it's all right.
Jimmy's the mimic, remember?
she is the
We discovered
mimic,
that
I mean.
last episode.
Yeah, that's hot. So thanks. So
Tell the listeners, Madeline.
I got like super serious. So we are doing something really cool, and the three of us are super excited. We are doing a very special giveaway. So we are really wanting to reach 500 followers on Twitter and 300 followers on Instagram. And once we do that, we're going to do said giveaway. But all of the details will be officially announced December the 3rd. After this episode drops, we're going to make the special giveaway post. If you have not followed us yet, our handles for all socials are at FearBabes. So at FearBabes. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Love it. Hell yeah, brother. So next season, we're gonna fucking hit my microphone over here. So
oh shit, sorry. Oh my god, I can't believe it did it.
Yeah. Anyways. Since it was the end of season 2 for Project Fear, naturally this is the end of season 2 for Fear Babes. So we will be taking a short break. I don't know if we actually know specific dates on when we're coming back yet, but we'll keep you guys posted on socials. So also, another reason to follow us. Yeah. Next season, we do want to get Fear Fam back on to talk with us, so keep an eye out for that. And anything else, guys? Did I miss anything?
This season has just been really slam-packed with crew guests, so that's why we weren't able to have as many Fear Fam on, or any Fear Fam on this season. But we promise we'll be back, and we're excited to have you guys back. And yeah, that's the only other thing I really wanted to add.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed having the crew on the podcast. We worked really hard on it, and we were really excited to actually have that come to fruition. So we appreciate you guys being patient with us, not having you guys come on and doing the crew, because it was a really fun whirlwind of an experience.
Hell yeah,
it was. Mm-hmm. Don't forget also we went to Jersey, so that kind of threw a wrench in our stuff too.
Yeah, it definitely did.
We've been busy this season.
Yeah, I was about to say we've been so busy these last couple weeks, and
Awesome.
yeah, as Jamie said, we appreciate your patience, but we do hope that you enjoyed the episodes where we had the crew on.
Shout out Alex for being our #1 listened to episode on Spotify.
Yeah, we got our Spotify Wrapped. Al was #1.
Oh yeah.
At least he's #1 somewhere. Other than our hearts.
Oh,
Did you say in our hearts?
Other than our hearts.
Oh, okay.
other
You guys
than our hearts.
automatically took it and was like, oh, she just burned him so hard. But I was like, he's in our hearts. He's #1.
That's why I didn't hear it, because we were laughing, because it was kind of funny, to be honest.
BDT. No, actually, I take it back. Connor and Riley, they share the same place.
Yeah.
#1 in our hearts.
Connor and Riley.
Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad. They adopted us.
Anytime, Connor, I'd like you to know that anytime you do anything, my first thought is, oh, Dad.
Yeah. When I listened to that episode where I was like, Connor's kind of like our dad, I was like, oh, that's awkward. But I don't mean it like... I just mean it like, I don't know. I really don't know. They're just like mom and dad energy.
Is it any less awkward than Tanner being BDT? He's our big daddy Tanner. That's not awkward too.
He did actually adopt us for realsies, I think. So
They did,
Yeah, Connor and Riley did. Well, Riley said so, and she's the boss. So
she is the boss.
She's
Well,
the
Riley
boss.
says goes.
Yeah.
Fucking
we trust
facts.
Riley. In Riley, we trust.
But also, we need a battle of the dads next season. So
Duel of the dads.
Duel of the dads.
And also Mads and Alan, they need to duel still too. So there's a bunch of duels going on, and then Tanner and Jay have to have a basketball off, and then we have to have a twerk off. There's so many things we have to set up still.
So many things. Alexander Schrader, I challenge you to.
Just his full name. All right.
Okay, bye, babes. Jeez Louise.
All right.
What a crazy outro.
Bye, babes.
Bye, babes. Bye, babes. Bye, babes. I love you so much.
We'll talk to you soon.
We're back to the ASMR. I love you.
Oh my god. Guys, should we
give me a kiss? Oh.